First of all, thank you all for coming along, and thank you especially for arranging it, because I really appreciate it. Like, as I said before, I'm doing this project where we're travelling for as long as possible on £1,000, and we've got a ton of challenges, and you've really helped me out a lot by helping me with this one. Now, the challenge was about doing a speech, and I'm really interested in personal development and the potential we've all got within us. So I decided to do it kind of about personal development and goals and stuff like that. So first of all, thinking about goals and ideas and dreams. As a kid, when we're children, we often have like huge goals. Like we want to be like, I don't know, astronauts, or we want to be sports stars, or we want to be the best scientists, and I don't know, all crazy stuff. Yes, singers, celebrities. And yet somehow, for some reason, as we get older, these dreams kind of fade, and we get excuses come up in everyday life. We get things which come up, and reasons why we can't keep doing it. So I'm having a look at some of these reasons why. So one of the reasons we get is it's too late. Like people say that they've already spent too much time in their life doing things which wasn't towards what they want to do. So they've wasted too much time. But that's not true, because life is like a mosaic. Do you know what mosaic is? Yeah, life is like a mosaic. So it's every single day is like a new tile in that mosaic. And so yes, you may have spent like, I don't know, 10 years of your life doing something which wasn't helping your goal, but the good thing about a mosaic is that if you continue working on it every single day, eventually, even if it's got a bit which is missing, you'll still have the bigger picture. So life is like a mosaic. It doesn't matter when you start. It doesn't matter if sometimes you do have a rubbish day and you don't do the things you should do. You can keep going, and it's about the commitment to it and doing it every single day. And other people, they say that sometimes people don't feel like it. Sometimes they feel like they've worked really kind of hard towards something, yet they're not going anywhere. And so that, and it feels like nobody's appreciating or seeing the work that they're doing. And yesterday I went up to the castle, and I got up there really early for sunrise, and I saw the sun come up, and it was beautiful. It was really clear. I saw it come up, and it was stunning, come up over the mountains. And yesterday evening, I went back again, and I saw the sun set as well. And it was beautiful, and it got me thinking like how perfect it is to see the sun do that. But the sun does that every single day, whether we get to see it or not, whether it's cloudy or not, the sun gets to do that. And that's kind of the same sort of mindset that we should have as well. Is okay, so we might not feel like we're going anywhere, we might not have people seeing what we're doing or appreciating what we're doing, but we should keep going anyway. We should show up every single day, just like the sun does, and like eventually you'll kind of get to where you want to go. And there's another excuse people say, which is that I can't do that, and it's never going to happen to me. And yeah, that sometimes is like true. That where you are at the moment, you might not be able to go straight into what you want to do. So it's about being flexible. You need to be flexible in your approach, and you need to try different things. And Steve Jobs said that you can't always connect the dots going forwards, but it's easier to connect them going backwards. So some of the things, if you just try new things, if you just try things out, what you're interested in, then you might fall upon something which will help you out, and you might be able to connect the dots going backwards. And another excuse, another reason people say for not being able to do the things they want to do is that they don't know what they want to do in life. They don't know what that goal or that ambition is. And that's okay as well. Like we don't all need to know what you need to do, but there's a few things you can do to help you understand what you want to do. And that's first of all is look at what you automatically love to do. Look at what you're passionate about already, what you're interested in. Look at the things which make you tick, and then pursue them, like exploring them, like try them out a little bit. It's a good place to start about finding your goals or finding your passions. Is try and find things you're already excited about. And again, another way to find out your passion or your goal is to try new things. I mean, if you're struggling to figure out what to do, and you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, then surely you're just going to get the same results. Whereas if you go out there and you try new things, you join different groups, you meet new people, you go travel things, it helps you kind of expand and grow and maybe stumble upon something that you want to actually do. And yeah, another way to do it is by getting out of your comfort zone as well. If you're within your comfort zone, there's only a very limited amount that you can do. And a lot of the best things in life happen outside of that. So unless you push outside your comfort zone, then you may never stumble on that thing which you're really supposed to do or what you should be doing. And there's a few other reasons I've thought of about why people don't necessarily work towards their goals. And another one is I can't do it. I've got a wife, I've got kids, I'm ill, I've got no money, I've got no job, I've got no education. And these are all excuses that people come up with. And they're all quite good excuses, but the thing is, life happens to everyone. No matter who you are, you'll never be able to control everything that happens in life. There'll be things which go wrong, there'll be things which happen, but the important thing is knowing that everyone who's ever been successful, life has happened to them as well. So when life happens, when life throws something in your way, then you've just got to use the best you can and make the best of any situation you're in. And that's what's important about going through towards your goals. It's all about that. And people fail, and when people fail, they give up. They say, no, I've tried, I've done it, I can't do it anymore, and they give up. But failure, that's just part of the journey. Nobody who's ever done anything worthwhile anybody who's ever done something which is worthwhile has always failed somewhere along the way. And if you fail once, you're going to fail again, and you're going to fail again. But you just need to get used to it. And there's a word in English, I don't know if you've got one in Slovenian, it's grit. There's a word called grit, and you need to have grit. And grit it's about being committed. It's about never stopping, no matter what. It's about not letting any hurdle or any block get in your way. And it just means never ever giving up. And you need to have grit. You need to have grit to get over the failures. And there's another final excuse which I thought of about why people don't get to where they want to be is because they don't have the time. And that's true as well. We all live busy lives, and it can be difficult to find the time to look at yourself and look at where you want to go and work on your big goals. But you know what? Each of us has 168 hours a week. Okay, everybody who's ever been alive, all the people you can ever think of, the amazing people, have always had 168 hours every single week. And that's beautiful because every week you're given a new set of hours. Like, you can't buy more hours, and at the same time you can't say, oh, I'll save these hours for next week. You're given 168 hours, and it's about looking at those hours and seeing what you can do with them. And yeah, you may have a really, really busy schedule, and if that's the case, and you've got a goal you want to get to, you need to start asking questions at the things which don't matter so much. Ask, is this going to get me closer to, or is this going to get me further away from my goal? And that is such an important question, and it works with time, it works with money, it works as that question, is this going to get me closer to or further away from? It works wonders. And if you can ask that, you can start getting rid of the things which don't matter so much, getting rid of the things which don't help you out. So this gets me thinking, these are some of the excuses which people come up when they're talking about like their goals and why they can't do their goals. So when thinking about a goal, what should you aim for? Where should you aim? Like, how big is too big? Like, should you aim for the stars? Well, only 50 years ago, 50 years ago, that somebody's goal was to get man on the moon. And that's ridiculous. If you think about going in a spaceship up to the moon, that random object floating however 100,000 miles away, that's insane. And yet we've done that as a human race. People have come together and we've managed to do that, and that's some inconceivable goal. And not only have we got people to the moon, we've got them back as well. Like, that's crazy. And another, I don't know if you've heard of him. There's a man called Roger Bannister, and he was a runner. I can't remember if he was British or American, I don't know, but he was a runner in the 1950s, and he had a goal, and his goal was to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Okay, which is bloody fast. I do running, and that's very fast. So he had to run one mile, which is about 1.6 kilometers, in 4 minutes. And people said it was impossible. People said he couldn't do it, and they said, scientists even said, no, your body, it can't do it, it's not capable. And yet, in 1954, he absolutely stunned everyone, because he ran a mile in under 4 minutes. He was the first person ever to do this. But you know what? Once he'd done that, once he'd broken through that barrier, 4 people that year did the same. And since then, thousands of people have broken that 4-minute barrier. That's amazing. Like, it shows you what you can do. Like, and the human race, just our race, our people. We need people to push these boundaries. It takes people to push the boundaries, push all the barriers, to get the rest of the human race to grow, basically. So, and that's what I'm fascinated by. I'm fascinated by the potential that people have within them. And I'm fascinated by the people who do take these huge leaps and huge bounds in life. There's a quote which I really like as well, which is by a guy called George Bernard Shaw. And this sums up pretty much how I feel about life. It says, I want to be fully used up when I die. The harder I work, the more that I live. And I think that's a really interesting way of thinking about life. Like, you've got one life, and at the end, why not be fully used up? Why not give your absolute all and try and give as much as you possibly can to the world? And why settle for any less than being all that you can possibly be? And I believe as well that all of us have like an unlimited potential, and that none of us will ever use all that potential. None of us will ever die having used everything. So my goals, my aims of my life is to explore that further. Is to do studies, to do projects, to see how people work. And with your own goals, with your own passions, I'm sure you've got ideas about things you really want to achieve in life, and goals that you really want to do. How can you go about and doing your own? Well, first of all, it needs to be something that excites you. That's a great place to start in picking your goal, because you need to be excited about it. That's the drive, that's the driving force that keeps you going towards it no matter what. And if you've not found what that is yet, don't worry, just keep looking, keep finding that thing which you're excited about. And secondly, take that big goal you've got, that huge, massive goal, and break it down. Break it down into every single part you can, and work on just two bits. Start breaking it down and working on separate bits. 3, never stop growing. Never stop trying to become better. Never stop reading and learning more. And your path, your talents, your goals you've decided to pursue, never stop. Just keep going.
What if you get tired sometimes?
You can sleep. You can rest. You can sleep. You can even have days off. But never stop going towards it. And the most important thing which people often miss out, is you need to enjoy the ride. It's a bloody long ride. Like, this goal you want, it doesn't come quickly. So you need to make sure you enjoy every single step of the way. And that's so important, because that's what keeps you going when you're going through the tough days. That's what keeps you going when you're flipping tired as hell and you're just like, let's have a rest. That's what keeps you driven, keeps you going. So this pretty much wraps up like what I wanted to talk about. We've been through a few bits, we've looked at a few reasons why sometimes it's difficult to pursue your goals. We've looked at a few of the reasons behind how big goals should be, and we've also looked at how you can actually try and go after your goals and pursue them. And just a little bit for you to take away. If you enjoyed, or if you got thinking a bit tonight, go home tonight and write 2 or 3 goals, 2 or 3 actions that you can take towards your goals. Like, I don't know what they might be. They might be to learn a language. They might be to start a business. They might be to get a new job. They might be to go travelling. They might be just to get to Paris and to go to the Eiffel Tower. But if you've got these goals inside of you, write 2 or 3 actions which you can do in these next 2 weeks and get them done by the 27th of March. That's 2 weeks today, 27th of March. Write 3 actions and try and get them done. And if you want, I don't know, but it might be good, like if you want to start, like if you're interested in growing and like goal setting, it might be good to set up a Facebook group so that we can all kind of chat about how we're getting on with our goals and keep in touch and keep each other accountable as well. So if one of us says, oh, I'm going to do this by this date, and we've not done it, the rest turn around like, hey, wait a second, what's going on? So if you're happy, I will quite happily set up this group and hopefully pop in from time to time and see how we're getting on. And it'd be really good, to hear about all your own goals and how you're getting on with it. But that pretty much wraps it up. And I appreciate you all helping out, especially Gregor, who's helped arrange the whole thing. And thank you for helping me complete a challenge for the Grand Tour. Boom. And that makes me an international speaker because we've got a Canadian and 3 Slovenians, and we did have
An American.
but he's left. Oh, Serbian.
Yeah.
Even better. Look, we've got a Canadian, 2 Slovenians, a Serbian, and we kind of had an American.
With Austrian roots.
And Canadians got Austrian roots.
Austrian roots,
and
yes.
Swiss roots.
Yes.
So